Alright, what up, y'all? This is going to be my review for the new 2025 Civic Type R. I've had the car for like about a little over 2 weeks, like 2 weeks and 2 days. And yeah, I'm just basically going to be giving you guys my experience with it. So let's get into it. As far as like the gas mileage, like if you're taking it easy, I get like probably like on the highway and through the city, like 28 miles a gallon average. And obviously if you're like pulling on every corner and stuff, I mean, it's still pretty good. I mean, I'm coming from a Benz, so the gas is pretty much the same, 18 miles to the gallon when you're just like smashing out on every corner. But yeah, I mean, so far the car is good. My biggest concern was, buying the car and not test driving it because I've never drove one before. The only thing I've had that kind of reminds me of this is the S2000. But obviously this one feels a lot more stiff, a lot safer. I had an AP2, but still, this one feels a lot more stiff and safe and stable and more responsive, just because with the driving assist features it has. But yeah, so far it's been pretty good. I already put 1,000 miles in the car, just to break it in, and then I have an upcoming scheduled oil change, just because I heard, could be wrong, you're supposed to get an oil change for a brand new car after the first 1,000 miles because of the factory, I don't know, something like that. I don't know, some bullcrap like that. But yeah, so far what I've done to the car too within the past 2 weeks, I tried doing it as fast as possible, just because I feel like this is how it should have came factory. Everything that I've done so far is basically how I feel like it should have came factory. I got the H&R 20 millimeter spacers to get aligned with the fender. I got the Swift springs to drop it an inch. It doesn't scrape anywhere. It doesn't really I don't really have any issues at all. Sometimes I do hear it scrape, and the tires don't rub, but sometimes I do hear it scrape, but it's that little plastic on the bottom. I don't know if you guys could see right here. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see, but it's this little like plastic cover at the bottom. That's the thing that scrapes, but nothing else. So yeah, I did that. Tinted the windows 100%. I think I got 15 in the front. I think it's 15 in the front, and then I got 5 in the back, and then I got 55 in the front windshield. I live in a hot area, so it really comes in handy, because when I first got the car, I think it was around like 70 degrees, and without the window tint, it would get really hot inside. But yeah, so I did that, the spacers, the springs, and then what I do want to get later is a intercooler. That's on the way, and I do want to get an exhaust. So I'm not too sure which exhaust to get. I'm in between the Tomei exhaust. The only thing that's holding me back on it is just that it's the 2 tips. I mean, the 2 exhaust tips. I like the 3. I feel like it's more of a distinctive Type R feel or look with the 3. I mean, but they're blue tips at least, so I'm in between those, and I've had that on my S2000. I love how that sounded before, so I'm in between that and the AWE Touring, but I heard that those might be a little bit too loud, and I've seen videos on it. But yeah, for the most part, that's what I've done cosmetically, and obviously a detail. I just got it detailed, some few fingerprints. The interior's nice. I love the interior. And then let's see. So I don't know if you guys could tell, I got the PRL intake, installed it myself. Not too bad. I'm used to the Hondas, how not the cheap, but the easier install intakes. So this one took me kind of a while. to install. I can make a video on it later on how I installed it. And then I installed the Mishimoto catch can right there to go with the motor. You know, just for reliability. My main concern right now is just the reliability. So on the way, I do have the PRL intercooler, just because the car runs hot. Even right now, holding the hood is really hot. And I did get the coolant expansion kit. The I think it's Mishimoto coolant expansion kit. But yeah, man, I think, or yeah, guys, I think the car is perfect. One thing I would have to say is, if you don't mind a stiff ride, I mean, the Swifts are the way to go because they're more like track focused springs. But I would just go with the iBox. I know people that have the iBox springs, and they dropped an inch in the front and the back, and the ride isn't as stiff. You know, the ride's smooth. Well, it's not smooth, but smoother. On my Benz, I had Fortunato coilovers, so I got used to the stiffness. But coming from this, and then obviously adding the Swift springs on them, it just made it way more stiff. Especially when you're in Type R mode, it stiffens the car even more, and with the active dampening, and you just feel every bump. I mean, it's kind of fun because it just feels like more of a track vehicle. But yeah, I mean, if you don't mind the stiffness, go with the springs, look at the Swift springs. But it's the stiffness, you want a little bit more comfortability, just get the iBox ones. But yeah, I mean, so far the car's been good, hasn't given me any issues. What can I say? The only thing that I would say, no, I mean, the car's been pretty good. I'm trying to think what else. I would just say, if you're looking into getting one of these, for sure, like the spacers and lowering it is like a main thing to do, just to at least an inch, just to give it that more aggressive look. And then the intake, you have to get the intake. Without the intake, you don't hear nothing. And same thing with the exhaust, you don't hear nothing with that exhaust. So I want to get another one, but like I said, the Tomei exhaust is like, what, like, I think it's like $1,700 around there, before taxes and shipping. So yeah, I have more stuff planned to do with the car, but for now this is what I'm going to do, because I already spent a pretty penny on the car. I think I already spent like $3,000 on the car already, just in upgrades and all that stuff, and detailing and all that. But the car, my experience overall with the car is good. The only drawback I would say is just the stiffness. Sometimes, and the droning, I don't like that droning. There's like when you're in Type R mode, it kind of like vibrates, like the dashboard kind of vibrates, or whatever it's called right here. That's what I don't like. But obviously, if you turn up the music, it goes away. I mean, you don't really hear it. And then another thing that I heard on the freeway was that I hear on the freeway sometimes is like, I think it's the spoiler. It sounds like it's like a little loose, like a little bit, but I could be tripping. Because it sounds like something's like just a little loose, like something's like clicking. But I don't hear it all the time. I only hear it, I think, when I'm going like 60 miles an hour on the freeway. It could be because the chassis itself and everything, the car's just really stiff. But yeah, I mean, pretty much the car's been good, no issues. Like I said, there's still more things that I want to do with the car. And another cool feature that the car has, I've driven this car a lot, and it's pretty comfortable. The seats recline and all that stuff, and it has like lane keeping assist. So when you're driving on the freeway, there's a feature kind of like what the Teslas have. You just basically just put it in there. It's on the steering wheel. I'll show you guys. It's on the steering wheel, and you just drive it, and it just keeps you in the lane. You really don't have to keep your hand on the wheel as much. Just obviously it gives you that sensor to, hey, like to put your hand on the wheel, but that's pretty much it. It's this button right here. It's this one right here. But yeah, I mean, the car's cool. I love the car. The car's really fun to drive. It's quick. I think it's 295 wheel. stock factory, which is really, really good. And I think the car only weighs like 3,200 pounds. Obviously there's no spare tire in these, obviously for weight reduction and stuff like that. But there's like a compression kit and a jack in the back. But yeah, I think this car's like really good. If you want to daily it, keep it practical and whatnot, because I was either going to get this car or the Supra. The Supra is way faster, of course, but you know, my main concern is reliability, longevity, and pretty much. And obviously it's cheaper to maintain this than a Supra, because you know the Supra has the BMW engine in it. And then obviously I like driving around with people in the car, and the Supra you can't really do that. I test drove it. It's fast, don't get me wrong, it's fast, but it feels really small. It's obviously it's more driver focused, but like for passenger and stuff like that, it's really small. But I'm pretty sure most of you aren't gonna have a lot of people in the back. It's just gonna be you and maybe one other person, so that's not probably a big deal for you guys. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I'm gonna try to keep it as reliable as possible. That's why I said I'm getting the expansion tank or whatever, the coolant expansion tank, the Mishimoto one. Obviously it looks better than that plastic one. And then the PRL intercooler, and then I'm probably gonna get after that, later down the line, maybe sooner if you guys want to see it, is the Tomei exhaust. I'm probably leaning more towards the Tomei exhaust, even though it's only 2 exhaust tips. The Tomei exhaust and a front pipe, just because those are the parts that I heard that you don't really need to tune, and obviously it helps with the reliability and the airflow and the turbo and all that stuff. And then that way later down the line, if I do want to get it tuned or whatever, I mean, I can. Obviously it's not going to be like a lot of horsepower gains, right? But I'll be cool with like 40, 50, you know. Just got to get the ECU unlocked, get the Hondata, and then get it tuned. And that itself is going to be like another 2,000. On top of the 2,000 I'm going to be spending on the exhaust and the front pipe. And obviously some wheels. I mean, the stock wheels are great. But other than that, I think it's pretty good. The stock wheels. Another thing, I'm still getting used to the car, just because last time I had my S2000 has been a minute. So driving manual, I'm still getting used to it. One thing is, like, when you're taking off from first to second, if you don't like clutch right and you don't like shift the gears right, you'll hear like a big thump, and that's normal. I looked it up. It's like more of a braking in period, and obviously if you shift correctly, you're not going to hear that. But yeah, those are like my biggest things. But yeah, the car's a really good car. It's a really good daily driver. One thing that I would highly recommend that I'm gonna do is the paint quality. I was looking at it. I wouldn't say it's the best, but if you want to make sure that this paint lasts you, I would get paint protection on it, especially up in the front, you know, to protect all the rock chips and whatnot. You know, just because, and obviously get it waxed more frequently than not, just to make sure that, because it's a really nice color. If you have this color, or like the red or the gray or whatever it's called, I mean, those are really nice colors and they pop out and they stand, so you want to preserve that color. Obviously with the white and the black, it's more simple than none. Those are clean. My other one that I wanted to get was the white one, but I just got a really good deal on this one. I think I got it for $1,000 above MSRP. That's why I said I was more leaning towards the Supra, because I was like not gonna pay 5, 10, 15K of a markup. You know, so if you guys want me to talk about that and how I worked out a deal with the dealership to get that price, that 1K markup and all that, and how I did it and all that stuff in the process and how it went, I could get more into depth. I could get more in depth with that. But yeah, the car's cool. There's a lot of settings to mess with in there. I'll be coming out with more videos on it, like POV driving videos. I do want to take it out to the track, but I want to get that intercooler in there first, just to keep it cool. And then yeah, I think once I get the intercooler, I'll probably just take it to the track, because like I said, even on the highway, just doing some quick pulls, the temperature gets up, like up there. I haven't gone more I don't really need to go more than fourth gear. Like in the street, you're good with second and third gear. There's really no need for more after that. Because in fourth gear you could already hit like 120 or close to 120. So I mean, the car's quick. Plus, at fifth and sixth gear, that's when the power just stops dropping. I think the car shines like in second and third because its wheels still spin at second and third. But yeah, man, this car's quick. I haven't raced any cars yet. I think the only car I've raced was a C43 AMG. On that one, it's neck and neck. It's basically whoever just takes off first. And then obviously like the shifting gears is kind of like a drawback on it, just because it's automatic. That C43. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, and I think that C43 is V6 twin turbo, 400 horsepower. So I mean, that's pretty fast, you know, for a 300 horsepower vehicle. You know, that's hella fast, especially for a Honda, a 4-cylinder, a 4-banger. You know, that's cool. So I think after I get all these parts and then later down the line I get a tune, I think the car will be perfect. Like I said, I'm just basically trying to do everything that I think the car needs to basically keep it running like reliably. Well, obviously not with the tune, but I feel like with the tune, that's how the car should have came. I know they're coming out with the HRC or version, or it's in the works or whatever. But that one has 375. So I feel like that's how much this car should have came with, or at least 350 out the dealership. But probably because of the heating issues and all that stuff, they didn't want to add more stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or anything else that you guys want me to talk about, or anything you want me to address, like I said, I'll talk about more with the dealership. I'll keep you guys in the loop with the upgrades and stuff like that, and installing them. Like I said, this was just going to be my review on the car. Basically like the things that I love about the car, and a few things that I dislike. Very few. I was very nitpicky on the things that I don't like about the car. Very few. I mean, what I do want to get is just probably some 265s on here, just to cover the wheel gap more. Just because I don't like that. I don't like that wheel gap. And I heard that if you go 275 with the Swift springs, it still won't rub. So I feel like that's what it needs, just to make it look a little bit better. But yeah, I'm not going to do that till I need to change the tires. And obviously change the rims later down the line. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys want to watch later down the line. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right, y'all. Late.